All right, so the X algorithm has changed, and Charbel has gone through and put together a whole video guide to kind of talk through some of the changes that he's making. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to quite literally go through the process of how I plan on implementing this directly into our Claude skills. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead here and pull up a brand new session. All right, so we'll put it up here on the top so that way we can see it. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I already have a directory set up for where we do all of our Twitter engagement and how we set up all of our content pipeline. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up Claude Code. Inside Claude Code, I'm going to give it a series of instructions. So in that, it's going to go ahead and grab its context. So I'll paste in how I generally like to work with these things. So the first one's going to be, I want to understand everything that the skill has access to. So I'm going to use WhisperFlow for all of this. Understand all of the X skills that you have access to. The next task is going to be, after you do that, read the following X post. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to grab his post that he has. I'm going to have it drop in. Use my Chrome profile to be able to research the post that's there. And then I want you to use your video transcription skills to evaluate the sentiment, grab the transcript from this video, and extract all the key information that was a part of it. Next task, study how it works. Ensure we update our existing X, formerly known as Twitter skills, to have this as a pattern for how we construct our analysis. And then this is what I use a lot. It's called the Superpowers skill. So I'll just type this one out. Use the /superpowers, and in this case, I want to use Brainstorm to design the necessary changes to our existing workflow for making X content. So I'm going to let this kick off. And it looks like I need to log in. So I'll do a login here and pause. Now we're logged in, so let's go ahead and kick it off again. And basically this is just gonna go through the setup, so we're gonna give it some time. I'm gonna stop and start as we kind of go through. It's logged the Superpowers brainstorming skill, so we'll come back as soon as it has some actions for us. So this is why Superpowers is really cool. So it's given us a plan to go through, and now it's currently in the process of looking at my existing skills for X article creation, X quote tweets, scanning for daily trends, and then any of the daily skills that it picks up. All right, now the next step is it's gone through and it's recognized that it's a 12-minute video, so it's going to go through and it's going to start analyzing it step by step. So the capability we're using here is called quick quote tweet frames, so it's a custom integration that we wrote to be able to analyze any of the MP4 files. All right, so it's finished going through analyzing the video, so now what we're going to do is it's going to go through and it's going to save the full transcript and complete the rest of the research tasks. All right, so all the transcription was finished, and it's going to go ahead and save everything to a markdown file in the research directory that I have set up for it. Now, once the brainstorm skill finishes, it's going to give you different options or clarifying direction you want to go. I'm going to force this thing to think, so I'm going to go with option D, where it should take all of what it learned, and let's go ahead and see if it can apply it. Once it does that, it's going to go ahead and propose 2 to 3 different approaches that you can take aligned with the trade-offs of each approach that's there. It's now asked me how I like to be alerted, so I'm actually going to go with the both option, which is going to give me the ability to use Claude Code's native functionality with the loop and schedule, and then also we use Discord a lot, so we'll go ahead and have a webhook event for anything that's time sensitive. Now that I've made my decisions, it's going to give me 3 different approaches, and it's going to give a recommendation of which one to go with. So I'm going to agree with this one. I want to be able to leverage my existing skills. I don't want to create new ones or make this into building a rocket ship. I want it to just integrate the capabilities into what's already working well for us. Now the rest of these sections, I'm just going through the planning stages and reviewing what it has, and I'm giving the agent direction on how we want these skills to be set up. Next, it's going to produce an actual plan. So what we can do is we're just going to go ahead and open a terminal on the bottom. We'll just do open and the paths of the plan, and we'll review it to make sure everything looks good. Once we have the plan update, I can go through and review the markdown. So excellent. It looks at my existing structure. It looks at how I already have the flow set up, the scans, the articles, the quote tweets, and the feedback. So once we're good with that, we'll approve it. And then the final step, now that the plan's complete, we choose how to do the implementation. So we're going to use subagent driven for this one. And what that's going to do is Claude Code's going to kick off a bunch of subagents to take care of all of the different aspects of the plan that's going to be created. And that's really it. That's how you build a skill aligned to content. This type of design pattern works for any type of skills that you're getting ready to do. So if this was useful, send me a follow and let me know of any questions in the comments.